Hi, it's Jo Karen Hudson. I'm going to work with you today. We're still working on Module 12, uh, Section 12.5 on dividing a polynomial by a polynomial. So let's first remember how we do long division. I'm going to start off. 25 goes into 41, 41,325. So I'll start off with, well, 25 won't go into 4, but it will go into 41. 25 goes into 41. Let's see, 25 times 2 is 50, so it must go one time. And then I multiply back through. 1 times 25, and I can do that in my head. 1 times 25 is 25. And then I draw the line and I subtract. I'm going to have to borrow. Let's see. Turns out to be 16. And then I'm going to bring down my 3. 25 goes into 163. Let's see, I believe that will go about 6 times. 25 times 6 is 150. And then remember you subtract, and that will give me 13. I'm going to bring down the 2, and then I'm going to have to divide 25 into 132. That ought to go 5 times. And then I multiply 25 times 5, and I get 125. I put it down here. And then I subtract again and bring down the 5. 25 goes into 75 3 times, and 3 times 25 is 75. So when I subtract, I have a remainder of 0 on this first problem. If I want to check my work, I can go back and multiply the quotient times the divisor, and I should get this number, 41,325. I'm not going to take time to do that. Now I'm going to divide a polynomial by a polynomial using long division and some of these same strategies. I'm going to divide x minus 5 into x squared plus 2x minus 35. And so again, I will start x times what gives me x squared. X times x gives me x squared, so I'm going to start with an x here. And then I'm going to have to multiply this one, the x times the x minus 5. X times the x minus 5, and you may be able to do this in your head without writing this step down, but I'm going to write it down for the visual people. X squared minus 5x. So I'll put that under here, x squared minus 5x. And then I'm going to draw the line and change the signs because I am subtracting. Now these will drop out as they should, and 2x plus 5x will give me 7x, and then I'm going to bring down the minus 35. So now I'm going to divide x times what makes 7x. Let's see, x times positive 7 makes 7x. So now I'm going to multiply 7 times the x minus 5. 7 times the x minus 5 is equal to 7x minus 35. So I'll write that right under here, 7x minus 35. And when I draw the line and change the signs, this one will have a 0 remainder. Now, if I want to check my work, it does ask me to check my work, I will multiply the quotient times the divisor, and I'm looking to get this trinomial right here. So I'm going to multiply x minus 5 times x plus 7. We'll have to FOIL that out. X times x is x squared. The outside would give us plus 7x, the inside minus 5x, and the last minus 35. And when I combine the middle terms, I'll have x squared plus 2x minus 35. Now, is that what I was looking for? Do these match? Yes, they do match, so I know I have it correct. Example 2, I'm dividing by 2x plus 5. Now, I notice right away that these are not in descending powers, and they must be. So I'm going to start with the 4x cubed. They need to be in descending powers. I'm going to start with the 4x cubed, and I'm going to put a 0x squared and a 0x. No, not a 0x. There is a minus 5x. Minus 5x and a plus 10. And then I've got every power represented. And I need to do that because sometimes the powers pop back in the body of the problem and you don't have a place to put them. So I'll start off 2x times what makes 4x cubed. Let's see, 2x times 2x squared, because 2 times 2 is 4 and x times x squared makes x cubed. So now I'm going to multiply 2x squared times 2x plus 5, and that will give me 4x cubed plus 10x squared. And you may not need to write that down here, but I'm writing it down there for the visual people who need to see that, and a lot of people do need to see that step. Change the signs. This one drops out, and I'll have negative 10x squared minus 5x. So now I'm going 2x times what gives me negative 10x? Well, 2x times negative 5 gives me negative 10, and x times x gives me x squared. So now I'm going to multiply that negative 5x that I just put down times the divisor 2x plus 5. And that will give me negative 10x squared minus 25x, which I'm going to put right here, negative 10x squared minus 25x. Draw the line, change the signs. This one drops out as it should, and I'll have 20x plus 10. So now I'm going to do the last division. 2x times what gives us 20x? 2x times 10. So I'm going to go through and multiply again. 10 times 2x plus 5 will give me 20x plus 50. Well, it looks like this one will have a remainder. 20x plus 50, because when I subtract, I'll change my signs. This one drops out and I'll have negative 40 left over. So I'm going to write the remainder up here, plus negative 40 over 2x plus 5. That's how we handle it. We write the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. Okay, I was asked to check this one as well. I'm going to multiply the quotient times the divisor, and I will have to add the remainder on when I multiply it out. 2x plus 5 times 2x squared minus 5x plus 10, and I'll have to add the negative 40 on after I get it multiplied out, and hopefully I will come up with what I started with, which was 4x cubed minus 5x plus 10. All right, so I'm going to do 2x times 2x squared, which gives me 4x cubed. 2x times negative 5x gives me negative 10x squared. 2x times 10 gives me plus 20x. Then I'll do 5 times all three of them. 5 times 2x squared gives me 10x squared. 5 times negative 5x gives me negative 25x. And 5 times 10 gives me 50. And I'll have to add the negative 40 to it, so that I'll have 4x cubed. The 10x squared and the negative 10x squared drop out. 20x and negative 25x gives us negative 5x, and the 50 plus negative 40 gives me plus 10, and I believe that is what I started with. Let me take another sneak look. 4x cubed minus 5x plus 10. 4x cubed minus 5x plus 10. Yes, that is what I started off with, so this one does check. All right, this time I'm going to divide x plus 3 into x cubed. Let's see, there is no x squared, so I'm going to put 0x squared. There is no x, so I'm going to put 0x plus 27. And I'll start off x times what gives me x cubed. That would be x squared. X squared times x. X times x squared gives me x cubed. And actually, I want to multiply x times, or x squared times x plus 3 instead of just the 1. And I will have x cubed plus 3x squared, which I'll put under here. And subtract. This one drops out. This would be negative 3x squared plus 0x. And I'm going to go ahead and bring down the plus 27. x times what makes negative 3x squared? That would be minus 3x. Now I'm going to take that negative 3x and multiply by the x plus 3. That would give me negative 6x minus negative 3x. Negative 3x times x plus 3 would give me negative 6x squared minus 9x. That would give me negative 3x squared minus 9x. These have to match. That's why I knew I had it wrong. These have to match. Negative 3x squared minus 9x. So when I change the signs, this will turn out to be positive, this will turn out to be positive, and these will drop out, and I'll have 9x plus 27. So x times what gives me 9x? That would be 9. And then 9 times x plus 3 gives me 9x plus 27. When I change the signs, this one will have a 0 remainder. Now let's check it by multiplying the divisor times the quotient, and I want to come up with this x cubed plus 27. So I have x plus 3. I want to multiply that by x squared minus 3x plus 9. And I want to come up with x cubed plus 27. So let's try that. X times x squared would be x cubed. X times negative 3x would be negative 3x squared. X times 9 makes plus 9x. 3 times x squared makes plus 3x squared. 3 times negative 3x makes negative 9x. And 3 times 9 makes 27. The 3x squared and the negative 3x squared drop out. The 9x and the negative 9x drop out. And I come up with x cubed plus 27, which is exactly what I wanted, and that does check. This is the last example. The length of a rectangle is 6x cubed plus 29x squared plus 45x plus 25. The area is that, and the length is 2x plus 5, and I want to know what the width is. So I know that length times width is equal to area. So if I want to keep the width, I'm going to divide both sides by the length. Then I'll have the width is equal to the area divided by the length. So I'm dividing by the length. I'm dividing by the 2x plus 5. I'm dividing that into the area. 6x cubed plus 29x squared plus 45x plus 25. So I will start off. 2x times what makes 6x cubed? Let's see, I believe that would be 3x squared. So now I'm going to multiply 3x squared times 2x plus 5, and that gives me 6x cubed plus 15x squared. And I'm going to write that down here, 6x cubed plus 15x squared. Draw my line, change my signs. This one drops out. 29x squared minus 15x squared would be 14x squared. And I'm going to bring down the 45x. And then I'm going to say 2x times what gives me my 14x squared. Let's see, I believe that would be plus 7x. 7x times 2x plus 5. 7x times 2x plus 5 gives me 14x squared plus 35x. 14x squared plus 35x. Draw my line, change my signs. This one drops out. This 45 minus 35 gives me 10x plus 25. And then I'm going to divide one last time. 2x times what gives me 10x? That would be plus 5. 5 times 2x plus 5 gives me 10x plus 25. Draw the line, change the sign. This one has 0 remainder as well. So the width is here. It is 3x squared plus 7x plus 5. This concludes the video on section 12.5. You will need to do the homework on section 12.5, the quiz on section 12.5. This is Jo Karen Hudson. Thank you and have a wonderful day.